Good morning. This is Jovine from Behind the Markets. Happy Monday. Today is February 3rd. You will notice I'm not wearing a sweatshirt for the first time in a while. This has finally gotten to 75, 80 degrees, which is a far cry from the cold, frigid 60 degrees that we have had the past month and a half. So for all of you guys who are suffering in 30-degree weather and 20-degree weather out there in the rest of the country, sorry guys, eat your hearts out. It's one of the reasons I moved from New York to South Florida. Anyway, today I want to talk about what is definitely the dumbest investment you can make, and that is keeping your money just in cash. It's the one thing that I know is going to go down in value. I mean, even if the Fed keeps its inflation target at 3% or 2% as its official inflation target, that means the value of every dollar is going to go down by 2% or 2 pennies a year, 2%. So it goes down to 98 cents or 96 cents, 2% every year. But inflation has made the value of a dollar in the last couple of years go down by 7.5% to 10% a year. So the value of a dollar in 2020 went down to 90 cents, then to 80 cents, and so on, which is why groceries are so expensive. And the one thing that I'm certain of is that the value of money is going to keep getting destroyed. I mean, just keeping it in cash or even keeping it in a bank account that doesn't earn any real interest is also, one, in my view, one of the dumbest investments that you can make, any excess cash. Because again, banks aren't really paying the kind of interest that they used to pay when the Fed raised rates. So you're not really it's almost like holding just cash in your mattress, which again will go down in value every single year by 2%. If everything goes according to the Fed's plan, it's going down by 2% a year. If not, like it has the past couple of years, it's going to go down by 10%, 7%, 5%. And we've seen that in the past few years since COVID. And look, another big warning sign has really happened since Trump took office. Gold prices keep hitting record highs. All new highs almost every day. They hit another new high last week. And that is telling us that the destruction of money is going to continue. I mean, they've risen 10% since Trump was elected, 10% and 3.5% since he was inaugurated. That's just days ago, really, 11 days ago has it been? And you get a sense of this, and I'm going to go to my notes here. And the reason this is happening is because the money supply is near an all-time record. The M2 money supply is at $21.5 trillion, and that puts it just $190 billion below its all-time high. And what is inflation? Inflation is when you have too much money sloshing around the system, chasing too few goods. So basically, if 5 people want to buy a new car, and the next year, then it's set at one price at $30,000, and then the next year, 10 people want to buy the same car, the dealer starts to raise the price at $32,000 to $35,000 to $37,000 just to get you back to that 5 people so it can match the supply it's actually created, the amount of cars that it's made to match it with the money that's chasing it, the demand that's out there. So basically, we've seen inflation just skyrocket because of all this fiscal printing. And as we talked about here before, the Biden administration backloaded a lot of fiscal stimulus for the last year in office to really kind of jiggy the election, which obviously didn't work. Americans really weren't buying the product that Democrats are selling this year. And it looks like Trump is going to do the same. And I listen to a lot of people in Congress and legislators who talk about what kind of bills they're looking to pass. And every bit of information I get says that this is going to be another fiscal blowout. And it's really alarming because half of the interest, we're paying all this debt, half of the money that we borrow, half is going to pay interest on the debt that we have. So again, I'm really kind of riffing on this Monday because of a conversation that I had with a friend of mine who mistakenly thought, he said, well, Buffett keeps his money in cash. And I said, well, that's not really true. I mean, he keeps it in short-term treasuries, which is a cash equivalent. I keep my money in short-term treasuries, which is a cash equivalent. But it's not like we're keeping our money in non-interest bearing cash at all. And if you want to find out the best treasuries that I keep my money in and where I recommend folks keep their money in, you really want to get a copy of our book, Midnight in America, because all of these things are really coming together. I mean, gold prices keep hitting new highs. Savvy investors are selling stocks basically at record levels. The only people still buying stocks with rampant enthusiasm are retail investors, frankly, who don't understand the kind of crossroads place that we're in and that are caught up in the euphoria of a rising market of AI, of Trump's election and all that. But we're not going to make that mistake. That's a mistake of uneducated and young people. We're going to be a little bit more cautious than that because we understand that historically, the last time stocks were this expensive was right before the market crash for the dot-com boom. So anyway, do not keep your money in the bank unless your bank is paying great interest. That's my own personal opinion. Keep it in a short-term U.S. government bond fund, short-term treasury fund. And gold is telling you that the destruction of our dollar, the destruction of money is going to continue for the foreseeable future. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.